Hello and welcome back to the channel of nonsense, two-wheeled nonsense at that. I'm Tim. I'm at Birmingham's predominant motorcycle show of the year, Motorcycle Live, where all of the UK's middle-aged men come to look at motorbikes that are coming out next year. So this isn't a full review of the show, this is just me having a nose round, seeing what's interesting, seeing what tickles my pickle. Let's go and have some fun, and hopefully I'll wake up. Maybe. Right, I suppose we have to talk about this, the Yamaha XSR 900 GP. It's a £12,500 honeypot for middle-aged old men harking back to the 80s and 90s. It's basically an XSR 900 underneath with some clip-ons. It's got the 5-inch TFT from the new MT09 fairing bracing, and it does actually come in black as well as this Not a Cigarette Company red and white. Looks gorgeous. That kind of appeals to me as well. On the more adventurous side of the Yamaha stand, got the Tenere 700 Explore. This is a new version of the Tenere 700 that's slightly more suited to smaller people, and it's a bit more long distance focused. So it's got a lower seat height than the regular Tenere 700. 860mm, that's 15mm lower than before. And it's lost 20mm of wheel travel to do that. So slightly less of an off-road focus. It has got, though, stiffer spring rates to better cope with luggage, pillions and all that. And you do get the pannier racks as standard, but not the actual panniers. It costs £10,800. It's got a bigger screen as well. Apparently it's 50% wider, so you get less blowing in your face. Sticking to Tenere theme, this is the new Tenere 700 Extreme. This is kind of more of an off-roady version than before. It's got an extra 20mm suspension travel, so 230mm. And it's got new piggyback shock as well. So it's got a few more off-road accoutrements, got these wider titanium foot pegs down there, same old dash. But most importantly, it's got a beak. It's got a beak, everyone. It's like the penguin of the Yamaha Tenere world. Do penguins have beaks? They must do. Oh, it's got a one-piece rally seat as well, so you can give it your proper stand-up Dakar hero vibes. Now, this is probably the most annoying bike of the exhibition here, because I've just reviewed the old MT09 now. This is the new one. It's got possibly slightly less challenging looks. It costs £10,100. I'll go and show you the SP version in a second, but it's kept the same basic recipe of the 890cc triple, which is such a fun engine. Noise, wheelies, ballistic performance. Yeah, what's changed? Well, other than the looks, you've got keyless ride for the first time on an MT09. This one doesn't, though. That's a bit annoying. I'll show you that. It's got a bigger TFT as well, and you can do all sorts, connecting that up to your phone. Yeah, it's got lower bars. It's got a two-part seat for a slightly racier position, and I think that is an admission that we're getting a Yamaha R9 at some point. It's going to be based on this. Lol. And it's also got the new Gen 3 quick shifter from the Tracer 9 GT, so that means you can do things like off-throttle upshifts and on-throttle downshifts. It works pretty well. But yeah, Scion wheels are definitely here to stay. And there we go, that's the new MT09 SP. The big difference here is you're getting some proper brakes on a Yamaha now, so none of this non-branded stuff. You've got proper Brembos. I should point out the SP version of the MT09 gets keyless ride. It's not fitted on the standard one, but it might be an option. I need to find out. Now, obviously, this is the best bike of the show because I bought one. There's Jeff from Yamaha actually doing some work. Now, this is definitely one of the bikes I'm most excited about riding in 2024. It's the new Ducati Hypermotard 698 Mono. I don't think it's got an STD, but it has got a single-cylinder engine. The new 659cc Super Quattro Mono. Somehow, they've made a single-cylinder engine that revs to just over 10,500 RPM. It's got 77.5 horsepower as well, at least until you stick a race kit on it and make it illegal. Then you've got an 85 horsepower, illegally loud motorbike with no catalytic converter. Somehow Ducati's managed to get service intervals out to 9,320 miles in between oil changes, which is quite impressive considering it's essentially got half a 1299 Panigale engine. So the piston in this is bigger than several Greggs sausage rolls that I might have had for breakfast. On the electronic side, it's got Ducati Wheelie Assist, which actually helps you prolong your wheelies. And it's got a nice Diddy 3.8-inch dash, which looks quite cool when it's on. Sadly, it's not at the moment. Oh, and they put a little sock on it. Isn't that cute? Same old switchgear as my Hyper 950, though, but I think that is going to be a cracking bike to ride on British country lanes. Maybe not on slicks, though. Now, this is one of the few current Ducati models I haven't ridden, but I've got a bit of a horn for. Look at this, the Desert X Rally. Absolutely love the look of this thing. That paint scheme, well, it just looks like you want to go and bash some sand dunes. I haven't got many of those where I live in Surrey, but yeah, I love this red grab handle. It's quite utilitarian for a Ducati. And obviously you've got the vertical dash, but that just looks like a lovely way to bash out some off-road miles. Slightly piddly exhaust outlets though. Now tucked away around the back of the Ducati stand is this Street Fighter V4 SP2 that's been customized by Ducati's in-house Unica program, which is basically a high-end in-house custom shop. Bit like your Gibson Les Paul with its knackered relic finish. This is very one-off. That is very cool. I quite like that. Probably not to everyone's taste, but it's nice that Ducati is catering for even richer people than usual. Obviously the big news from KTM this year is their share price has dropped since I sold mine, but yeah, the new 990 Duke with its bold new face, £13,000 before options, so you'll want the tech pack and things like that. 123 horsepower, you know it's going to be a riot to ride, but can you live with that? I mean, I can. I quite appreciate KTM's go screw yourself attitude to styling. Yeah. The exhaust does look a little bit on the cheap side though. So I just stumbled upon this. It's the Artisan Electric EV2000R. Essentially, they've made an all Vespa, all electric-y and cool. I quite like this. I quite like this bag on the back. I know I'm losing subscribers as I say this, but yeah, it's something for everyone. A motorcycle live. Right, this is the new Maving RM1S. I've got the RM1 on test at the moment, and this is the one that can go quite a bit faster. It's been redesigned. The batteries now down there, they're more energy dense batteries than before as well. So yeah, 65 miles an hour I think on this one, and still it looks absolutely stunning, just like its baby brother. Got a lot of time for it. Oh, carbon fiber mudguard as well. Fancy. Now over on the Sealy tool stand there's this beautiful old 1944 Royal Enfield, ordered in 1942 but delivered in 1944, so motorbike lead times weren't great. I think there was something happening in Europe at that point in the time, but yeah, it's cool. Apparently it's matching numbers example, and yeah, I bet that's got some stories it could tell. Apparently they have put a NOS exhaust system on it. I think that's new old stock, not nitrous oxide. That would be quite fun. This rather lovely thing is the new Royal Enfield Himalayan. I've not ridden a Royal Enfield yet, but these are meant to be very good, and this new one's got digital dash, a bit more grunt, and I think you'll be seeing quite a lot of those in the UK. Right in the middle of these crowds are a couple of BMW R1300 GSs. I'm the only person in the world that's not ridden it yet, probably because I said some things about BMW UK PR manager's mother, but there we go. Can't wait to ride it. Promises to be a bit sporty, a bit lighter, and I quite like the look of it. In the flesh, it does look a lot smaller and a lot more kind of modern than the old one. This is the Tarantula edition, obviously. And over here is what they officially call the white one. There's hairy off-road legend Chris Northover, absolute lad. He beat me at go-karting once and I'm not forgiving him. Don't know if you can see that, I haven't got a long lens on, but that's how they park GSs these days. They're so rugged, you can just lean it up against a handy earth bank. Oh no, he's just dropped it. He's never getting that back up. And up here, BMW have got all of their R18s. This is actually all of the R18s that have ever been sold in one place. It's quite amazing. This one looks quite nice. Do quite like that. That is a part of me in about 30 years' time. There's quite a lot of people pretending they're interested in the F900 and F800 GSs as well. I think it's only because the queue to get on a 1300 is so big. I'm joking. Yeah, it's quite excited to ride this at some point next year. It's new M1000XR, 201 horsepower, shorter gear ratios. It's up 30 horsepower on the new S1000 XR, which I haven't actually seen. They put it on a plinth here, so you can't feel the handlebar vibrations, which is quite good. Very clever, but no, seriously, I like the winglets. It's very aggressively styled. This is like a sports tourer on steroids. Or if you're a BMW's marketing department on their website, they call it maximum of equipment. But anyway, 23 grand, 28 grand if you want this one in black with the carbon wheels, etc., the competition package. It looks amazing, but I bet you the handlebars vibrate. Like over in this corner is the most exciting bike I rode this year. It's the BMW F900 Cup bike. Rode one at Almeria. It was amazing, it was loud, it wasn't that fast, but it gave me so much confidence. And actually, if I could have one as a track toy that met UK track day limits, I would buy one of those. It's just the most fun you can have on a track without going absolutely bananas. I loved it, and I think it's coming back for at least another year or two. Now, this isn't exactly news, but it's the beautiful Langan 2-stroke. Fun story, I nearly got James May to ride one of these at my old job. They invited him to go and ride it, but he couldn't make it, and then I didn't ride it. But look at that, it's just a work of art. Beautiful bespoke 2-stroke engine. It's lovely, proper garage queen, but I bet you that's quite fun out on the road. Delicious. Right, this is very much not a motorbike, but it's a British designed jeans and protective clothing brand that has been making waves, I'd say, on social media. It's Roadskin. They make AA and AAA rated jeans, and I have to say, they feel lovely, and they've got these nice armoured hoodies as well, so I'm thinking about one of those for next year for being a hooligan on my MT10. They've got this nice shirt as well. It's probably a little bit dark to see in here. But yeah, the guys that run the company are kind of ex-Dragon Jeans. They know what they're doing, and they're basically going direct to consumer. So they're not selling these through companies. So you can get a pair of jeans for about 180 quid. They said if they put it in a shop, it'd be 350 up there if you're rockers and things like that. So yeah, might buy some of those next year because I need to replace my Kevlar jeans. Right, this is the new MV Augusta LXP. It's their first adventure bike, and it's limited to 500 units, which is astonishing because the level of investment and engineering that must have gone on to make this, or gone in to make this rather, and then only make 500 of them, it's a bit baffling. But then the cynic in me says KTM Group, or Piera, has just acquired 50% of them, so maybe they don't want the competition. I don't know, I'm just being cynical here, but it looks absolutely gorgeous, and you can guarantee you're not going to see many of them on the roads. Hopefully the people that buy them do ride them, stick knobblies on them, and go and have some dirty fun. Now, base layers are usually about as sexy as putting KY jelly on a cow, but I've just been chatting to the guys at Zero Fit, and if you've not heard of it, essentially it's a Japanese company that has invented this mad base layer technology, which they've only just really started marketing to motorcyclists. And it's not like your normal base layers, which kind of squeeze you to keep you warm. So the material inside has actually got hundreds of tiny little threads. It feels just like a very snug pullover, but these gently rub against you and keep you warm, and they aren't super tight and super restrictive, so you don't look like you've poured a couple of hot dogs into a condom. So yeah, they look super warm. They also do a thinner one as well for more active people who sweat, and that actually wicks away the moisture from your skin, which is good in summer as well. So yeah, check them out. Zero Fit is actually quite a high-tech base layer, and it feels lovely. I might just get one of those to wear around the house so I don't have to turn my heating on and spend my children's inheritance. Username Kate, the reprobate. Now, over on the Triumph stand, obviously the big news is the new 400s, the Speed 400 there, and in amongst the throngs, the Scrambler 400X as well. So hopefully I'll be having a ride of those at some point in the new year if Triumph start talking to me again. Looks very, very nice, I have to say. So yeah, still on the Triumph stands, the updated Scrambler 1200XE. It's got a bit more poke, some new colour schemes, and some lovely new Brembo styling calipers to replace the old M50s on the old bike. But Triumph paintwork is really on another level. I do love it, and it's nice they're doing bright colours again. Well, it's interesting to see some of Triumph's new stealth colours as well. They're kind of a new colour process that involves painting the tank silver and then black and letting some of the colour come through. There's a nice purple bobber over here if I can get close to it. Not sure it's going to show in the light, but that is basically a Ribena motorbike. It's lovely. I suppose I should show you the Thruxton FE as well. Just look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous paint scheme. The gold coach lines around here, and the old Triumph logo there. What a beautiful thing. £15,000 to you, sir, or madam. Now, over on the Kawasaki stand, we've got what I think is going to be one of the more interesting bikes of next year. It's the Ninja 7 Hybrid. It's the second ever hybrid motorbike. We don't know exactly how much it's going to cost yet, it's TBC, but it promises the fuel economy of a 250, about 76 mpg, but it can now accelerate a ZX-10R for a little bit under ideal conditions. So basically it's got 451cc parallel twin with a 13 kilogram battery. It can do 7 miles on electric power alone, but it's got electric boost modes to help it accelerate quickly and all the rest of it. It can actually reverse as well, and it can crawl forwards at walking pace, a bit like a Goldwing. It's got a 6-speed automated manual. I mean, I feel like I'm on my car channel talking about this. It automatically puts it in first gear when you come to a standstill as well. So it's packed full of technology. It'd be interesting to see what the price is like and who buys it. Because yeah, it's still a 450cc parallel twin. How much can that electric motor make up? Now, who expected we'd be seeing the return of a 400cc screamer in 2024's ZX4 RR? Couple of good reviews out there for this already. Go and watch Chris North over on Bike World because he makes it look very, very fun. It's Fantic Caballero 500. That looks absolutely gorgeous. I'd love to take that green laning, fall off it, dent it, and then ruin its resale value. What do you reckon? Tell us in the comments if you like the look of that. Ooh, two-tone bronze. So this has kind of gone under the radar a bit after EICMA. It's the new Honda Hornet 1000. Or Horny, as my phone says. It replaces the CB1000R. We don't know the exact power specs yet. Honda's saying it's got more than 147.5 horsepower, which is so very Honda, it hurts. But that does mean it's at least 5 horsepower up on the old one, which I did like. It's now got the 2017 Fireblade engine. Again, that's an engine I really love. Sounds really good at top end. That added 190 horsepower though. I don't think this one will. It's moved down to a 180 section rear tyre. Was a 190 on the old one. And slightly sharper styling. Now, they couldn't make the old CB1000R frame work with this engine, so it's got an all-new frame as well, but it's got the same Showa front and rear suspension and rather lovely TFT screen. So I imagine when pricing is announced, this will be a bit of a bargain if you're after a lot of performance for not much money. But it does look a little bit like a Ducati Street Fighter from Wish. Honda's also brought back the CBR 600 RR. It feels like we've gone back 12 years and we're doing 600s again, but they've done this so they can go racing on it and develop it and turn it into a race bike. Still looks amazing. I'm enjoying the little winglets here. Very cool. Now Triumph, can you do a Daytona 765 s'il play? But yeah, very cool. James May used to buy these all the time. I don't know why, because he never really rode them. Right, the big news for me from Suzuki is the GSX-8R. They've put the 83 horsepower 8S engine into a bike with slightly lower bars. They're not quite clip-ons. They're kind of almost like heli bars. But yeah, £8,899. And I think you've got an SV650 that's been to the gym and splashed cologne on its testicles. Quite like it. Suzuki does say on its website and press information that it has an exciting new frame. Exciting, I'm not sure about that. Anyway, there's going to be a white version as well with red wheels, which I've not really seen much of, but it looks very nice. And again, you've got the GSX SGX over here, which is the big 1000cc, 17-inch front wheel, road-going sports tourer. That is a bit of me, that looks like it's going to be a hoot. Sorry, I'm slightly falling over here. But yeah, that'll be fast and probably a little bit furious. Right, that's going to do it for this year's Motorcycle Live. It's not been an exhaustive look, it's just been the stuff I'm interested in. Frankly, it's a bit of a selfish video, I just fancied doing one. If you've enjoyed it, please like, subscribe to the channel, go down to the comments and leave us the Birmingham word for a motorcycle show. And I'll see you next time when I won't be sweating in an exhibition hall. It's my fault for wearing the big jacket.